These niggas don't know my name, and I'm hard here, better know the game. I was raised on the south side, but the west side is where a nigga came. I don't do that op shit, that op shit get a nigga changed. I don't fuck with that cop shit, them cops try to get a nigga framed. Got booked for some dumb shit, I ain't never say another nigga name. I was doing me, I was hitting stains. For the money, wasn't for the fame. Young fire flame. Shot rack with the killer's claim. Look, only shoot babies getting changed. I just wish they had better aim. We similar, but we ain't the same. Grown men don't need niggas. I was in the village with the breed niggas. In the club, what's where they lead niggas. Murder town on the low end. Rock wheel with the hard head. PIB, TBC, tell the industry, give me my bread. Work on like Diesel. Definitely in it like twofold. Blow fresh like new clothes. I shine brighter than a hue blow. 100 grand to the 100 spin. Who the man down on the money then? Pop shit like chemo. Or do the shuffle like D-Lo. It's all about that cash cream. 7-4 with the flag green. Cops to ops to cops. Niggas bitches like drag queens. Illinois, Chicago. I blow the top off the Tahoe. The law like to put their hands on you. Fuck the slickers and the transformers. Rap shit, that's the new brand. I'ma get a deal in due time. Real shit, nigga, you blind. Get true on a blue line.
Going hard in the meantime, spit mean rhymes on the green line.
We got homie P-Funk, he doing time for that pink line. Clock say that it's bread time, ain't waiting long like the red line. Everybody got a deadline, I'm still ducking that bedtime. Conspiracy, no comparison, seem more white than an Aryan. Niggas say they won't beat, they won't be vegetarian.
They say I'm an animal, try to take me to a veterinarian.
Shawty calls, she with the shit, so I'ma beat the pussy barbarian.
When the shit of that heat blow,
I'm high like
in an ego.
Take it like
No repo, I'm back, bitch, like D-Roll.
Fresh off that injury, put me in the game, I'm killing it.
Shot-town.
On Madison, but Michigan, magnificent. I ain't even wanna do this shit, but Ron told me to do this shit. I'm going crazy, got stupid spit. Gotta ask you like, who is this? Go to work, no time shit. Can't handle my rhyme speech. I got bars, die hard, fry hard, 5-piece. Fuck a Versace, I need a Bugatti and maybe Ferrari. But bro, why you watching me? Get the fuck back, cause you look like an op to me. You see me get high as astrology, smack me a bitch and don't get no apology. She should have been talking that shit like she won with the click and that money monopoly. I just got put in a ladder, bitch, sad to say I got picked up for the robbery. I'm thinking I did it, but told myself when I come home it ain't nobody stopping me. Definition is no probably, nobody's fucking with me. I'm like, obviously, you rappers is whack, been holding back. Now it's time to give you all of me. Bitch, I'm a leader, so follow me. Follow me right to the promised land. Niggas be acting like women, so soft and so timid, so tell them that I'm the man. Yeah, shorty, I'm the man. Reliable, fast, so trusting me. The niggas that hate say I'm ugly. They niggas, they bitches be fucking me. I am the man and the shit, and there's nothing you people could do with this. Shorty, she riding so fast and so furious, sweating I'm ludicrous. The way that she moving her belly like Nelly, I think I'm a lunatic. They thinking I'm new to this, but I'm a veteran. Recipes, tuna fish, niggas this shit out of luck. Telling me maybe they think I'm addicted to drugs. I'm just addicted to love. I'm just addicted to women and spilling this stuff. Tell them I'm killing you, Drake. Kendrick Lamar, I'm gonna stop spit in your face. Homie, I'm taking my place. Sorry I'm late. I just got out of the cage. Shout out to Greedy, she wrote. Shout out my mother, my brother, my sister, my folks. Shout out to Cody, you know that I'm cold in the industry, owe me some dough. Shout out to all of the women that gave me some dough. Niggas that hate that I'm home. Shout out to all of my people like Evil Knievel. I stunt and they carry the chrome. Shout out to Lil Herb, man.
Man, shout out to Nikki, man. Baby, shout out to Shot Rack, man. 5 and the 6, man. The cops, the ops, and the ops, the cops, man.
What's good? What's good? What's good with it, everybody? How everybody feeling this morning? Glad everybody in attendance. Got Tamika Zimmerman, Sasha Soso, Angel. How you doing this morning? Tiffany Collins. How everybody doing? Nina Ray, Tasty Tina, Liz Lyon. Glad to see y'all this morning. T Foxy, LA Green, TNT. Glad to see everybody in the building. Dice 7, Miss Daniele. All True Me, Miss Boled, Antone, Queen Love. How everybody doing? just really came here basically to bring everybody some news, some more nonsense crazy that's going around in the city of Chicago. But first, let me touch on, this is part of the reason, part of the main reason what I'm about to show y'all now. Okay, right here, this is Dalton. Dalton is a city, basically Chicago. It's just like on the outskirts. But this right here is a Dalton police officer. Basically, like I said, Chicago, they do the same thing. Same trick, same trade. Same shit, different toilet, basically. But they right on the outskirts of Chicago, basically known as Chicago. But this right here is a Dalton police officer, been charged after threatening to kill his wife and holding her hostage. Now, this guy, police had to basically draw their guns on him. He basically held the woman hostage, and he's still a police officer. Ain't that crazy? I know it sounds crazy, but check it out. Hold on, let's get it straight because I want to make sure everybody hear it. Okay, let's do this.
It's my city.
But like I said, it's crazy. But this is the type of this is part of the problem, a major part of the problem. The police in Chicago and around the city of Chicago, they do not care. That's why so many crimes go unsolved. That's why you got these 4 women missing in Chicago. And it's basically because there's never no real investigation. We have saw that in the recent months about supposedly be crimes coming from Chicago. But check it out.
WGN Investigates has learned a South Suburban police officer has been arrested.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me refresh the page.
This is my city. City.
But yeah, here's the story. The story is crazy. But like I said, this is part of the problem in Chicago. It's a major part of it.
United.
WGN Investigates has learned a South Suburban police officer has been arrested for threatening to kill his wife. That officer appeared in bond court today, charged with 2 felonies, and a judge ordered him held without bail. Dalton police officer Jesse Williams now charged with kidnapping, domestic battery, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The 37-year-old cop allegedly took his wife hostage yesterday afternoon near 15th and Spalding in Chicago's Lawndale neighborhood. Police reports indicate Officer Williams battered and threatened to kill a 35-year-old female victim while holding her against her will at gunpoint. Sources say at one point, Officer Williams ran out of a house naked and grabbed a gun from his SUV. When Chicago cops confronted him a few minutes later, police say Williams did not put up a fight. Jesse Williams is a 10-year veteran of the Dalton police force. His chief initially told WGN Investigates he had no previous problems. But we've learned, and the chief later confirmed, there was an off-duty incident roughly 2 months ago in Hammond. Police there reportedly found Officer Williams' car in a ditch in February and suspected he had been drinking. His car was towed, but no charges were filed. And Hammond police say they have no records indicating that Officer Williams was arrested in that February incident. Nonetheless, Dalton police gave him a 2-day suspension for it, a suspension he had not served before his arrest yesterday. Dalton's police chief now says Williams' gun and badge have been taken. He's on paid administrative leave while Dalton police sort out these new criminal charges.
Okay, let's just go a little bit into the story. Let's just read a little bit of this. It says, well, y'all just heard everything it said, but My point is, it's crazy. It's crazy in Chicago because, like I said, that's why so many crimes go unsolved. They don't even look into it. They don't even look into it. They come out and do the formality, you know, make the report. And in most cases, that's as far as it go. I can recall a story that was not too long on the news where a guy had his own business in the hood in Chicago. Matter of fact, it was a gas station. Some young guys came in there and robbed the place at gunpoint. Here it is, this guy just trying to make a living. So I think it was some shots fired or whatever. And I don't think nobody got shot. They came in, shot up the place, and robbed them. This guy called the Chicago police. It took them an hour and 45 minutes to get there. This guy's all on the news saying he's telling everything that happened. And when they came, they didn't even do anything. So the fact that they arrived an hour and 45 minutes later, when they came, he didn't even want to. He didn't even want to make a report, which I can understand because it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. That's why being men on the street, we have to urge other men, man, get your kids. A woman can only do so much, especially if she's raising a young man. Men have to step up and get your sons. Teach them. We got to teach them different from the things that we did. And like I said, it's not just happening in Chicago. And it's mainly the black race, but men, we have to step up and show our boys that will someday be men and take over our legacy and just take over everything. Because that's just the way the world works. Things come along and they die off, and then reproduction, generation after generation. We have to teach them a better way of thinking. What they do, they grow up and they glorify the things that we have done, which first of all, we got to fight hard not to expose them to certain things. But the reality, it is what it is in most cases. It's okay to teach our kids different way to survive, especially in the world we live in. I'm talking about going out, getting your own. And you might not, we got to teach our kids that it might be hard to go out and get a job, but teach them the skills to survive. Okay, you're going to fill an application out, might not work, but your skills might can get you where you need to be. I had a kid I was teaching. You know, he was interested into filming and photography and stuff. So when he got his first camera, he ran over and said, "Man, look, Marco, I got me a camera." I instantly said, "So what you got?" He said, "Man, I got a camera now. I can do this." I said, No. I said, "That's true, but you got to look at it deeper. Not only do you have a camera, a professional camera, you have a tool that can give you the ability to make money, to feed those around you, to help those around you. And most importantly, that camera will allow you an avenue to share your thoughts with the world." So if you look at it like that, this is me talking to the kid. If you look at it like that, and y'all, he got it. He got it because he doing some good things now. So he listened. But I had to show him that it's not just a camera. This camera can be used for a bigger tool, for a bigger mission. Your thoughts, your ideas, whatever, you can transform it, translate it through the camera and present it to the world. But it has to be something. It's easy to go out and do wrong. That's easy. Sometimes the hard part is doing right. But you know, going back to the story, and he lived in Chicago. Like I said, Dalton is on the outskirts, basically Chicago. According to the street numbers, it's just a higher number in the city, further south. But right here it says this guy was 37 and he was charged with domestic violence, kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on his wife. And then y'all heard the local news say that they did further investigation and found out that he was involved in much more than that. And he run out the house naked and grab his gun from his car. This is a police, somebody, so, you know, it's actually people still rely on the police. Some people do, a lot of us don't. But, you know, you have some people, period. Something can happen, they can call on the police because that's their job to respond. But when you got people that you depend on, some people depend on the call and come for help, and they doing stuff like this, how can you, first of all, how can you respect someone like that? How can you trust someone like that? But these people are put in a place, in a position of power. That's it. So we got to understand that there's people that's placed in position of power that can't even think. So if we can identify the fact that they are not thinkers, how can we trust them? How can we depend on them? Let alone call for help. It's not going to happen. He threatened to kill his wife. You would think, see, that's what I mean by being a thinker. I'm not saying, you know, being smart in someone. It's not about that. It's just taking the time out to think. And we got to try to do it rationally. We can't just go with some sci-fi superstitious thinking. That's not going to help us. That type of thinking is not going to help us. We have to think realistically and rationally. And it goes on to say sources at one point, officer, that's his name, Officer William, like he ran, come on, out the house and naked. And this is a guy that the citizens are paying his salary. That's what I mean. And, you know, something else we have to look at, like I just mentioned, the citizens are paying these people's salary in Chicago and in most places around the country, probably around the world. Us as citizens are paying these people's salary and they're killing our kids. So what's happening? Are we paying them to kill our kids? Because in most cases, they don't even lose their job. Why don't they make the process much easier? You got a lot of police officers. They lie in a report, try to get people locked up wrongfully. They lie in a report, going to court. And the fact that they lied, the judge identified, and these people would still have a job. It should be, if they do something as small as that, lie on a report, they should lose their job. If we can't trust them to tell the truth on a simple report, how can we trust them anything else? So if they get caught lying on a report, they don't need the job. What's the need to make out a false report? What's the need to get somebody locked up wrongfully? And we all know, if we think rationally, we all know that it's people that does things that deserve to be locked up. That's just it. That's not my rule. That's not nobody rule in the chat. That's not Nina Ray rule. That's not T Foxy. That's not nobody rule. It's just how it is. It's just people who they are. People do what they do. And in most cases, they don't deserve to be on the street. So that's my point of what's the reason for doing false reports and locking people up wrongfully? There's no reason. But another story I want to touch, and a lot of us probably already familiar with it. These 4 women, one is a girl, that's missing from, and on the west side. And it's crazy, y'all. So much is going down with this west side. And a lot of y'all probably didn't even get introduced to the west side of Chicago until the Crown Plaza thing. Because most of those people, 98% of those people that was involved in that were from the west side of Chicago. From the west side. Why is all this stuff going on the west side of Chicago. It's not by accident. Let's just check into the story. And it's an ongoing story. They just recently found, the other day they said a kid was in the back of his house taking out a garbage, and he noticed a body up under a parked car in the garage right there. And, you know, it's a rundown neighborhood, you know, in Chicago. But this kid found the body, and they think it's one of the girls. You know, I believe they found the young girl already. But here's another girl. This is the second girl that they think they found, and they believe that it's to be her because the missing girl had red hair. And so now they just doing the waiting thing. They the family is back and forth with the medical examiner office here in Chicago, and they just waiting. They supposedly did DNA or and other tests to identify the girl and make sure that it's her. But you know, the family even believe that it's her. And just to give a quick rundown on the story, it's crazy because the family said that this girl left with some guy, and she's supposed to left home without her cell phone. That seems odd to me because most people don't do that. Your cell phone has become a major part in life today. That's just how it is. They have made this piece of technology so important to us. Why? Because we can communicate with it. We can do so much with it. We can communicate on different levels, different platforms. We can do money transactions financially. We can pay our bills. We can do everything just from a simple cell phone and slash computer, because that's all a cell phone is. It's basically a computer. They have made the technology so advanced where we're able to do all of these things. So what? It becomes important in our lives. Most of us, when we open our eyes in the morning, that's the first thing we grab is our cell phone. Most of us. It's because that's the way of life now. But they said this girl left her house. I think she's 26 years old. One of the girls, she left her house with some guy she's supposed to know and left her cell phone and keys. And, you know, like I said, most people don't, but, you know, it's possible. And then they supposed to question the guy, and he said that he dropped the girl back off at home. And the family is saying that she haven't been home since she left with this guy. It's just all crazy. But let's check it out. Let me just stop the screen share real quick, and I just want to double check and make sure everybody can hear the audio. All right, let's go.
This is my city. City where violence has become ordinary, where struggles in the suburbs now mirror those in the city.
This is my city?
No.
This is our city.
It's time we take a stand. United Way of Metro Chicago fights for the health, education, financial stability, and safety of every person in every neighborhood. Change doesn't happen alone. And to live better, we must live united.
We're watching for you this afternoon. The mother of a missing woman from Chicago continues to do everything she can to find her. It's a story we've been following closely this week.
And now we're learning there's a fourth missing person from that same area. WGN's Eric Rung is live with more on this. Hello, Eric.
Good afternoon. The mother of the 26-year-old woman that went missing on May 26th was down here at the police station in Lawndale, hoping to get some good news. Really, she was just looking for any news of what police are doing to find her daughter.
God, we pray for.
When you're not sure what to do next, you lean on family, friends, and prayer to lead you in the right direction.
Lord God, asking you to help us in this time of need.
When you're the mother of a daughter who's been missing for 2 weeks, you also do everything you can to find her.
I went around with flyers, also went around to abandoned buildings looking.
Today, she walked into the 10th District Chicago Police Station looking for an update on the investigation.
Worried, scared. Right now, I'm nervous.
Nervous, just thinking the last time LaTanya Moore saw her 26-year-old daughter, Shantaya Smith, or Nene, may have really been the last time.
I'm trying to think good and positive things right now.
Moore says her daughter left her home without her phone and Smith's own 7-year-old daughter with a man she knew on May 26th. The last time anyone saw her was at Central Park in Ogden, just a few blocks from where Moore and those here to support her wait for those answers from police.
We're losing time and we're losing ground.
A police spokesperson told me detectives are searching for her and possibly a link to 3 other women from the Lawndale area that had turned up missing since mid-March.
Our biggest fear in the community is there's some type of predators loose, whether he's kidnapping or murder. And we need answers.
One of the girls missing, 15-year-old Sadara Davis, was found dead in an abandoned building just a few blocks from her home.
There's too many disappearances of young women that are going on in our community.
While they may lean on each other and prayer, Smith's mother and family will also keep searching for that one answer that may bring Smith back home.
We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now, Smith's mother says that the man that she left with back in May told her that he had dropped her off back at home. Now, we wanted to ask him about that. We tracked down a couple of addresses for him and went to that neighborhood, talked to some people in the neighborhood, but we weren't able to locate him tonight. We're live in Lawndale. I'm Eric Cron, WGN News.
This is my city where violence has become ordinary.
Now, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, and I know y'all caught it. Did y'all see the young girl out there holding a sign, and the sign said, "Stop killing us"? It's crazy, y'all, the world we live in, where the kids, the ones we supposed to be raising, the ones that we supposed to be just teaching what we know, to turn it over all to them so they can take what we know and take what they learn and take over things. But here it is. They are being stopped, shielded, shut down, and killed off from doing that. And it's so bad where this young girl got to hold up a sign begging not to be killed. They can only use the resources that they have. It's so sad to see a young girl, youngsters, period. It's sad. People, period. It's sad to see this. But a young girl who the young man is supposed to grow up and protect. But even as a young girl, she have no protection. That's why she's standing out there with a sign saying, "Please stop killing us." This stuff is happening only because it's big business to those that's in a higher up position. It's a big business for them. It's a big business for people to just be killed off, especially in a crime way, where it's a crime involved. Y'all heard the video a few weeks ago where I showed Frank, the organ guy, out of his own mouth saying that when you're a donor, when you're an organ donor and you get sick and you go to the hospital, the doctors do not try hard to save your life. Why? Because you are an organ donor. So that only proves that it's big business for these people. It's big business for most of us to not just die off, to be killed off. They making a living off of this. They make a living off this. But I want to touch on something else real quick. And it's an old story, but the reason I'm bringing it back up because I knew the guy. And a lot of y'all outside of the Chicago area got familiar with the story simply because it was a shooting that happened on Facebook Live. It was a shooting that happened on Facebook Live. So that's how most of you all got familiar with the story. But like I said, I knew the guy, and I really knew this guy. But I'm just gonna go back on the story. He got shot while he was live on Facebook.
Good evening. It's a major American city dealing with an.
And when I say I knew this guy, I really knew him. And it's so sad because the guy that I'm talking about, he got shot on Facebook Live. Then a couple weeks later, after he healed, and recovering everything. Him and his girlfriend get killed. Let's check it out real quick.
On his own camera phone have brought into jarring focus double the number from this time a year ago. And
I need somewhere to duck a hat for cover.
This cell phone video making the rounds on social media appears to show the moment a man is shot in broad daylight. Chicago police say the man...
Now, I got to stop it right there. I got to stop it. Now, I got to stop it right there because we know how Facebook do. But check this out, y'all. Now, most of these kids know they're under surveillance. Like I said the other day, you can't step out of your door in Chicago and mainly throughout the country. But in Chicago, big city like Chicago, you cannot step out of your doorway and not be under surveillance. You can't go nowhere in Chicago and you're not under surveillance. So everybody know this. So to do some of these senseless acts that's being done, it's outrageous. To know that you're seen, to know that you're being seen, to know that you're going to get caught, and you still do it? Y'all know my saying for that, and it's not funny. That's a form of mildly retardation. That's the only logical thing you can think of. It has to be something going on in the brain to even think like that. Gotta be something. But here it is, this guy, and most of y'all remember that. But this guy right here, later on, after he recovered and everything, pulls in a gas station in Chicago. And what happens? Him and his girlfriend get killed in this same neighborhood. It was all over the news. It was all over the news. I was in prison with that guy. That's how I know him. And then he was a good guy. He was cool. Think he had did something like 6-7 years or something. Then he got out. He got out and got shot. And then right behind that got killed. Him and his girlfriend. They pulled in a gas station and got slaughtered. Every day, well, yesterday, all day, every day. But yesterday, I was just sitting back and I was just thinking. So I said, in this certain location I was at, I sat there. I was there for maybe 2-3 hours. So I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my cell phone and I'm going to film how many police cars swoop by and ambulance these few hours that I'm over here, y'all. I couldn't put my cell phone down. And in Chicago, you know when there's a shooting incident because right behind the ambulance is a police car. So they can do the report and investigation at the hospital. But this is what you see all day, every day. Most of the times, y'all can probably recall when I was on live, that's all you hearing in the background. It's police cars, ambulance. It's so sickening. It's so sickening just to hear this all day, every day. All day, every day. And like I said yesterday, if we know the police got everything under surveillance, how is all this happening? Y'all, they got a technology in Chicago when a gunshot when a gunshot goes off, the police swarm into the area from the sound where the gunshot came from. They already surveillance. They can see this on multi cameras inside the command center post van. So they swarm. They instantly go to where the gunshot came from. But it's happening all day, every day. All day, every day. And they constantly hiring thousands and thousands and thousands of new police officers. Where they going? Because they're not on the streets in Chicago. And if they is, They doing something other than what we should see them doing. I can understand they do all the undercover work, and that's supposedly not be seen, but I ain't talking about that. They play so many tricks. They just work so hard to deceive us. And if it's happening here, believe me, y'all, we have to pay attention, because Chicago is not the only place that is happening. It's probably happening where you at, Zena King, Liz Lyon, Miss Kitty, L.A. Green, Jay New. It's happening where we all live at. It's just happening maybe on different levels, some worse than others, but it's happening. We woke to it. So what's our job? Our job is to awaken more people. That's why we're here. And it's so crazy, y'all. When my nail in the coffin videos, YouTube have just wiped them completely off the. And then this is what they hit me with, y'all. They hit me with fraudism. I had a conversation with one of the queens yesterday. Okay, if my videos on Kanika was fraudism, then every video on YouTube should be fraud. Am I right? But it seemed like when I put up certain videos about this is how they come at me. It's crazy. So they just figured they just wipe them completely off the internet. Why? Look how much stuff on YouTube about that. But why did mine have to be wiped off? It's all good, though. It's not going to stop us, only make us stronger. It only make us stronger. Shout out to Nina Ray for dropping the link. Subscribe to Marco News 5. I appreciate everybody that shows up, and we get this stuff out together. Because if one of us, don't matter if it's me, don't matter if it's Nina Ray, Miss Danielle, Michelle Hill, Teresa Jacob, Angel, whoever it is, Pretty Apple, if any one of us bring the story to YouTube, then we're only doing it, you know, just to get it out and get it out. So if Michelle Hill drop a story where she at, then it's informing us of what's going on, where she's at. So therefore, we're being awakened to it. So now we know to look out for. We know what to identify. We know possibly when we come together and in the chat, in these live videos, we communicate. And we can go outside of YouTube. Eventually, time come, we're going to set up things where we all can communicate better, where we can just do what we're doing in a better way. That's what it's all about. Yes, you're right, and it's a lot of people that should have been out the way, period. It's a lot of people that should have been out the way. Man, I appreciate every time when I go live and y'all come in the chat to get down with me. So when we do that, that's us getting down together. It's a lot of things going on, y'all, and it's a lot of news that need to be put out there, and we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Miss Danielle said Atlanta is the new Chirac. And you know what I say, Miss Danielle? It's probably new to us. But the things these people been doing, I'm quite sure they didn't just wake up September the 6th or 7th or whatever and start it. It's been going on, and it's just new to us. They've been getting away with it for so long. And to me, it seemed like right now they at the point like they don't give a damn what we notice, what we can expose, what we can figure out. It don't matter to them, because if it did, they would stop. They turning up. They turning up. So what they gonna do when they turn up? What we do? We gonna turn right up with them, but we gonna turn up so hard, well, we gonna expose it all. With no hesitation. So that's what I mean by They doing this stuff like they don't care, and they not letting up. They not letting up. You're right, Liz Line. It's done by design. Yeah, they design all this nonsense they do. They doing it all by design, and they working hard at it. Y'all hear me say that a lot. They working hard at it. We gotta pay attention to that. When somebody work hard at what they doing, whether it's right or wrong. The fact that they working hard at it, we appreciate, we applaud people that's working hard to do something right. We'll even assist them. We assist each other and you know, in those type of battles. But when you got people working hard for nonsense and for you know, to do wrong, that's something else. That's what we fighting against. We fighting against that. And we doing an excellent job, y'all. We came in this YouTube world together. And we standing strong today. I can truly say that. And I feel just that way. We standing strong. I see a few new names in here, and I appreciate them. You know, hopefully, you know, y'all stick around and we get more familiar with y'all. Some of the family members in the chat probably already familiar, but like I said, it's a few new names to me. And again, I appreciate y'all coming over to rock out with us. And we about information over here and the truth, most importantly. But it's early in the morning, and I appreciate everybody getting up out their sleep. Some of y'all probably just ate that good old breakfast, or some of y'all just probably getting ready to eat that breakfast. But, you know, I appreciate y'all coming over here to rock out with us. It's early, and we will be back later on today, later this afternoon or early evening. Because it's a lot of reporting got to get out here, y'all. I'm finna get ready to get up out the building so the family, y'all can get back to doing what y'all was doing. Like I said, I appreciate y'all taking a minute to come on out and get in the chat, and we do this thing together. But I'm finna get ready to punch up out of here. I love y'all. Keep that security tight. Y'all already know if the security ain't tight, that means there's something wrong. One love. I'm out.